see. All right. Hi, guys. It's Natalie and Jen here. This is our very first podcast. We are talking about Ozempics today. Before we begin, I would just like to say whatever diet, medication, supplement, whatever you need to do, please talk to your doctor first before you try anything, because everyone's body's different and they react differently, and you do not want to do more harm than good. So my name is Natalie, and I'm from Love to Be Well. That's my new business now. And I'm a health and wellness coach and also a trainer. And I also teach 3 days a week at Fit Gym. And this is my friend Jen. We call her the Jen, the nurse.
Yes.
Registered nurse here.
I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for about 7 years, and my specialty is ICU. But I had fun learning about Ozempic just as well, because it's something new, it's something fresh, it's something everyone's talking about. So
yeah, we have a lot of questions that would need to be answered. I know everybody wants to know what Ozempic is and what it's used for and so forth. So we're going to start off with what Ozempic is.
Yes. Okay. So as I was able to go through some of the information, Ozempic pretty much, it mimics a hormone that we already produce in our body. The hormone is called GLP-1, and it's produced in our digestive system, and the receptors are found throughout the body, going from the brain all the way down to the small intestine. And what I thought was so interesting is that Ozempic is also known as semaglutide.
Semaglutide. It's okay.
Semaglutide. It's a tongue twister.
Yes.
But semaglutide is the generic name for it. And there's 2 medications that have the generic name semaglutide. One is for Ozempic, which is geared and prescribed for type 2 diabetics. Type 1 is still under the study. And then Wegovy is, because of the shortage of Ozempic, everyone's really like, it's a fanatic drug. Like people, because of this, the side effects of losing weight, most people are being prescribed that, and it's shot up for the prescriptions. So people are being prescribed Wegovy for obesity. So pretty much hormones are like produced throughout our body. We all know, like, the basic estrogen, testosterone, but there's all throughout our body. It just sends signals through our cells to kind of kick them into action. So with GLP-1, it stimulates the insulin release in your pancreas, which is where insulin is released. And with type 2 diabetics, insulin is becoming resistant to foods, because what insulin does is it turns your food into energy.
So it breaks it down.
Turns it into energy, and in addition, it suppresses your appetite, which is a huge benefit if you're trying to lose weight, if you're burning energy, you're trying to take in less calories. That's a big benefit. So that's like pretty much what I found to be Ozempic to be,
Yeah. And we are like, a lot of people go, well, how long does it last? Oh, well, it lasts as long as you take it. Once you stop taking Ozempic, and this is for the people that want to lose weight, you are going to see your appetite change. And the last, I think it takes about 2 weeks for you to start feeling hungry again. And that's where people are having a problem. So they want to continue doing it. But when you continue it for a long term, you start getting these bad side effects, which are problems in your pancreas or liver, and you have a higher risk of getting cancer, right? You had that percentage.
So the mild side effects, which most of the pro Ozempic sites will say nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, very it's unpleasant but manageable.
Right.
And then they'll say you'll get used to it. But the other side effects that might affect you could be dizziness, mild tachycardia, which is fast heart rate. Maybe like if the normal heart rate's 60 to 100, your heart rate's like 114, 120, which is uncomfortable for anyone who's experienced it.
Yeah.
infections, headaches, indigestion, and then any severe, it says severe but rare side effects, which I've found in journals, medical journals and articles, that pancreatitis is a severe but rare side effect. Um, Acute kidney injury, which is like kidneys are suddenly like affected and unable to work, which is a big issue. You have to be
Huge.
hospitalized for
Yeah.
that. And worsening diabetes, diabetic retinopathy, which is like if you can't see, if you're having like difficulty seeing because of your diabetes, it could worsen it quickly. So these are all just options and things that could happen. But what you were referring to when we had talked about it was the long-term effects of the GLP-1 type medications, which include the most well-known is Ozempic, is a higher risk of thyroid cancer of 58% of anyone, not just type 2 diabetics, who've used them for 1 to 3 years, and a 78% increase in risk of medullary thyroid cancer, which is a huge.
It's crazy.
3 out of 4.
That's crazy.
So it gives you that perspective of just, it is nice to lose weight now, but what are you willing to risk?
Right.
So
that's the scary part. And another question was, somebody asked, do the insurance companies, are they covering it? So yes, some of them are covering. I believe if you are, of course, type 2 diabetic and what does they say? The pre-diabetes, if your BMI is too high and you're in danger, yes, that will be covering it. But if you are not, and you just want it because you want to get into this hot looking dress for this party next month, you're not going to get covered. Somehow, I don't know how, a lot of people are getting their hand on it. Don't know where they're buying it from. I don't know if the certain doctor, I have no idea. But I know a lot of people that have discussed this with me, and I don't know how they're getting it. And I think it's a little
risky. It's risky,
yeah,
because of the side effects.
Yes.
If you don't have it, regardless if you are diabetic or not, and you have these effects on you, it has this effect on your body long term. So you just have to weigh the risks and benefits. There are so many different GLP-1 medications. There's the most popular that we've talked about, Ozempic, Wegovy, and then they've developed other ones that possibly you've heard of, Trulicity. I've heard from the, like commercials and everything, Victoza, Saxenda, Mounjaro. Those are all like branched off medications that are similar to mimicking this hormone we already produce in our body. Yeah. So it's interesting. And there's also ways that we can kind of boost this hormone naturally, which is high protein intake, and just kind of, again, like the classic diet and exercise, but high protein keeps you fuller longer, which kind of produces that same release of your, hormone naturally. Mm-hmm. And I personally have utilized my friend here. I'm on baby number 3. I'm currently pregnant. During my recovery postpartum, I trained with Nathalie, and I was overweight. I was overweight, and
you were not that overweight.
From when I gave birth, I lost 50 pounds approximately from when I gave birth until I got pregnant again. And it was from training. It was from, and I gave up one thing at a time. And then talking with her, and I'm having this hard time with this certain thing, or I want this thing, or I'm going to this party.
Yeah.
What would I do to kind of navigate these social situations with eating? And so a lot of it is conditioning yourself, and it's step by step rather than just like extreme dieting, giving up this for, I'm going to do, give up all carbs. I'm going to give up, that's not how I started. I started out giving up lemon lime Gatorade and trail mix. and I was eating them in excess because of
Did you really give
postpartum.
it trail mix up?
Yeah, I gave
Just
them
kidding.
because it like has M&Ms, and I was like,
Yes.
yeah. So like
M&Ms.
with her help, I feel like the high protein foods that I was eating, I just got used to it, and I was like craving it. My body
Yeah.
was craving it, and so that's a great way because I had no idea about any of this stuff
Well, it's not
before.
even that. You can only do this for so long. You got to
Yes.
find something to maintain the weight. That's fine. I'm all for you doing it, no judgment whatsoever.
Kickstart.
Kickstart, whatever you need to do. Again, discuss it with your doctor. Make sure it's something that your body can handle. I'm all for it. Knock yourself out. No judgment. But you can only do it for so long. And then it's like, okay, then no, now what? You know what I mean? It's like, do you want to continue doing this like for the rest of your life? Like, who wants to get injections every single day when you really don't have to? That's the bottom line. So it's like, what can you do to maintain it? So the other question was, what else can we do? Well, you can get in contact with a wellness coach. Hello, I'm here. Call me. I'll hook you up, But
Seriously,
besides
yes.
me, you find somebody, I mean, it's just find someone that's going to put you in that accountability state, that it's going to help you lose your weight. Find that balance that we all are looking for. I mean, we have a busy schedule. You have kids, I have kids, we work, husbands husbands let's extend that. It's hard. We all have a busy lifestyle, but when we find that balance and we have somebody helping us, I think it makes a huge difference.
And
And we help
someone
each
that
other.
will help you like truly understand
Yes.
you
Yes.
instead of like, this is what I do for my clients. We
Right.
cut out every sugar right away, day one, no sugar. Like, I don't know.
That's hard.
I don't want to get into your specialty, but my experience,
Lord.
especially even looking like I have a family member that is going to possibly be prescribed Ozempic.
Yeah.
And he would be beneficial because he's about 400 pounds. So at this point, it's like more dangerous for him to continue doing what he's doing,
Right.
and, take Ozempic for the short amount of time to kind of get his weight down, get his stomach feeling like it's fuller, and being able to shrink it from being able to like consume food all the time.
Right.
So it's a good bridge, but like you
So how do
said,
you feel about that from the medical side?
I feel like he's at the point where he needs to do that.
Right.
But like you said, it's like the long-term effects are real. Like they really, the facts are there. We'll reference some of the links at the end of this video for the medical journals that I was able to like read through. And it's very interesting just seeing like, okay, well, he's considered morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Like there are other things going on.
Right.
So we could benefit from at least getting the weight down.
Right.
And in addition, like whether it's working with you or, Ozempic, when it makes you feel fuller longer, your stomach ends up shrinking and you don't end up craving as much food.
Nope.
So even if you go off Ozempic, you need to have that bridge plan of like, how am I going to eat higher protein? Maybe I need to call a trainer. Maybe I need to call a wellness coach to be able to kind of bridge me to a real normal lifestyle. Like what I liked about working with Nathalie, and I didn't mean to make this about working with Nathalie, but what I liked about working with her is that it's a real like, hey, I'm really like, I would lie to other trainers. And so I felt like I could talk to her, and you need to find someone that you can talk to because,
Yeah.
hey,
That
I
makes a
really
huge
want
difference.
this.
Yeah.
I told her, she said, tell me a list of the things you
Yeah.
cannot live without. And I was like, these things. And she's like, okay, nothing else besides these things. And then we'll start there. And then it was like, oh, I didn't end up wanting this other thing. I didn't end up wanting this. And it was like
Slowly, you
easier.
just removed bad stuff out of your.
Yes. And so Ozempic is a good bridge, but there needs to be, that's a
Something.
step one. Ozempic is a good step one. Step two needs to be a bridge to, okay, how can I get this to real life?
And I get it. It's hard. You want everything done right then and there. You want that,
Yes.
10 pounds lost, like in 1 week, you want to lose that 10 pounds. But, I always say slow and steady wins the race. It is hard. It is, I mean, especially as women, it gets harder and harder, but we really need to stop and focus and say, okay, do I really want to take this drug that's going to get me skinny and then later on deal with the consequences. Because the older we get, we do have to deal with a lot of different health issues. And this is one of the ones that I do not want to have to sit back and think, oh shit, I did that. Oops, sorry. Podcast. Are we supposed to curse? Like, oops, I did this at this specific year, maybe it's affecting me now. Like, I want a clean slate, but that's what I believe in. And that's okay. If you believe in other things, again, no judgment. But as a wellness coach, I'm all for the holistic way, the natural way. But again, I don't discriminate. If somebody desperately needs it, like, your family member, and it's at that point where this is going to help them for the long run, then and I support it's I support that, but I don't support it being a long term.
Like I mean, and also if we find that, if anyone has found that this isn't true,
send us a message.
To my research, there is no doctor that would prescribe it longer than that, 1 to 3 years, because of that risk. Yeah. So they're going to allow you to be prescribed this 3 years. That's it. Because then they can say, oh, after that, you're on your own. But like the effects are already there.
Right.
You feel almost reliant. Like, I need this. I found so much. And even with her, like diet, like my wellness and health, I feel like a little bit reliant on her. Being pregnant now, I'm not, dieting, exercising the way I was when I was losing. But I feel a little bit like panic, like I'm in the deep end now, like that could be how you feel if you're off Ozempic and you're trying to like find what your life looks like after that. But kind of having that in your mind of like, I'm starting Ozempic, but it's short term, and I'm going to set these habits and I'm going to move on, rather than like, oh, I'm just on Ozempic and who knows when it'll end.
I think the best thing to do, if you are going to be on Ozempic, I think plan something before you start, what you're going to do after you stop. Like prepare yourself. It's almost like doing meal planning. We meal prep I meal prep on Sundays, like for the week. Mm-hmm. So before the week comes, I'm already ready. I know what to eat, what I cannot eat, whatever. But with the Ozempic, let's say you're going to start Monday, make sure before a week before that, once I finish Ozempic, this is the program I'm going to start. So that way you don't fall in that
I'm
depression mode of like I'm reliant to it, or oh my gosh, I'm having anxiety because now I'm worried that I'm going to gain all my weight back, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di. So that we do not want you to fall into. So it's best to prepare yourself before you start, so when you do finish, you have something else to maintain with, which is a healthier diet plan, accountability. Maybe come and join our gym, have fun with our girls, because we are badass chicks.
Yeah. Even like that's how I started. After I had the baby, I was like, I'm just going to go to class. I'm just going to go to class. It's an hour a day, 3 days a week, doable. And then when I wanted to like accelerate it, then I would add training with her on the other days that class wasn't there. And it really like just allowed me to have this. And it wasn't 50 pounds in one day. It was 50 pounds over, I want to say like 6 or 7 months, but like the rewards.
But it was a healthier way. But now you learn like, if you eat this, this is what happened. This is how much inflammation this specific food is giving me. So I'm going to kind of stay away from that. Or this food I'm going to eat in the morning because I digest easier and comfortable and better. I don't feel bloated by the time I go to bed. So those are the things you need to learn about your own body. We can only do so much as health and wellness coaches, but you telling us, describing the feelings of what you're feeling, we can help you and guide you in the directions where you're supposed to go. And and it's just overall, we all want to be healthy. We all want to do the right thing. And I know sometimes we want that right thing done at that moment.
Yes. But you want it, and you want it now.
But unfortunately, sometimes it's not good.
Quick to lose, quick to gain.
Exactly. So I always say slow and steady wins the race, because at the end, you learn about your body, you learn about everything that's going inside your body, and you feel better. You feel more, educated, actually, because sometimes we really don't know what our body's going through, especially with us growing. Like, I'm 46 years old. And you're, much younger.
I'm 32.
Yeah, much younger.
32.
Much younger. Yeah, repeat that one more time.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
So, it's a whole different ball game once you hit your 40s. You have that premenopause, all the stuff that you're going to go through, which really sucks. But you find a way to deal with it. But so everything changes. Like, I can't eat like I used to eat, like in my 30s or in my 20s. I got to watch what I eat in my 40s and what affects my body differently. So those are the things that you get to learn, in the process of going through that journey of eating healthier and feeling accountable with your partner or your friends or in your group setting. So.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard too, because being like in the process of my hormones are changing in a different way. Like, yes, I'm in my early 30s, but I'm also like having kids and my hormones are up and down, and I'm craving things, not craving things being pregnant, and then I'm craving things being pregnant, and not craving things for me postpartum. I was craving everything. And so I just had got to the point where I was more sick of being in my own body and feeling like that than I was sick of like, okay, what I'm willing to give up. What are you willing to give up? It's you're either willing to give it up later, like the clothes you want to wear or whatever, or you're willing to give up the foods now. Like, and so I just started with one or two things, and then it just got easier. So I'm excited to get back to it after I'm pregnant. I'm excited, but right now I'm enjoying this season of pregnancy.
Enjoy it every minute.
Thanksgiving's coming up. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
But yes. So anyway, I was really love this topic. I've loved like going through it. I feel more informed, and I feel like I could help family, friends if I was approached by this subject. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
So if you have any questions, feel free to comment or message. It's our first time.
This is our first. We will be trying to getting in. Hopefully, we'll try to get like maybe once a week.
Yeah.
We'll do like different subjects. Let's see what we got next week.
Yeah. Let's see. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So make sure you ask your doctor for any supplements if you want to try any new supplements. Okay, check with your doctor first.
And we're just bantering, talking through. I'll link some references at the end. And we are so grateful that you tuned in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.